Hi pilots and co-pilots, Brian here, part 3 of my flying around Vancouver Island. It's about 12:30 now. I've just been for a couple of hours of a jolly in Tofino. So I'm at the airport CYAZ in Tofino, just outside Tofino actually, on the beautiful west coast of Vancouver Island. We're going to be flying a flight now from Tofino across the island to the east side of the island to Campbell River, and we're going to get that programmed up in a minute. First of all, we're going to go and check Sky Vector, check the weather, check our route, and then we'll get that programmed into the aircraft, and we're going to get up and do some lovely flying across the ortho scenery, across the mountains there, and we'll land in Campbell River. So I've got Sky Vector up here as usual. I've already programmed my routing. You can see in the purple here. I'm just going to check my weather here. So our latest is okay. We've got 240 degrees wind, 5 knots. So okay, got to work out which direction for best runway to take off. So 240. Okay, we know what direction that's coming from. We've also got some information there. 180 variable 270. So it's kind of not specific in any one direction. 15 miles visibility, few clouds. Okay, 2200 feet, scatters at 13, broken at 20,000. We're not going to need to worry about that. A2 90905, and it's 11 degrees. And where we're going? Okay, it's variable at 2 knots, so the wind's not really a problem. 30 miles. Okay, broken at 4,000. BCSH. Don't remember what that means, but I'll look that up. So VCSH, I'm going to know how to find that. I'm at A29905. I need to take advantage of that. Why have I got a dog leg there instead of just doing straight route to each location? Now let me show you. Let's see if I can get this up. So that's where we're going to be flying to. Right, runway 29 is my assumption for landing. With the weather it was earlier. LOC, no. Let's go back to this chart here. No, not NDB. RNAV. Okay, so we're going to be doing an RNAV GPS approach. And so I'm going to be coming over from here, down bottom left, across the mountains here. That's Buttle Lake there. You can just see at the bottom there. We'll be flying over that. But we'll be coming in this direction. Now, if we did the GPS direct, we'd come straight in towards from the Campbell River. But I actually am planning to use this RNAV approach to come into runway 29. So I've been reading up on all these things and how to program the GPS. So I'm going to see if I can do it today. And that will require me to come into OMREV here. So I'm adding OMREV in, and then we'll set an approach on the GPS that we can activate later. So when we get close to this, we can switch to an approach and we can fly the approach in on the GPS. I think by the looks of it, we have to be, well, it's going to be 5 miles between each of these. Or is it 5 kilometers in Canada? Can't remember. But at the same time, it's got to be 1,100 feet by the time we get to EB Delve. But for this, is it going to be 2,600? So anyway, this is going to be approach on 295 degrees. Coming in along there, 295, 1,100 feet by there. That's going to be our really important one, I think, to be at about 1,100 when we cross that. Any other information I need to know before we start? The elevation of the airport will be at 346 feet when we take off. When we're coming into land. Not when we take off, we don't care. Missed approach. We go straight ahead basically to Tubig. 295, climb to 2600. Safe altitude at 100 nautical miles is 15,200 feet. I should be able to fly at about 9 and just kiss the top of the mountains on the island. They're not that tall. Okay, let's get back in the aircraft and get going. So just before I jump inside, I wanted to do an exterior view. You can see here's the airport, but you can just see the curve on the coast of Long Beach, as they call it here. curves all the way. It's a massively long. I think it's 10 miles long. This one beach, absolutely beautiful. And just there, I think is so. That's Wickeninish. That ends there. Then it goes, and there's Clulet is down there in the distance, and then Tofino is actually a little bit further along, kind of that area there, up on the top right there. And then that over there is that mountain there is on Mears Island, and it's a First Nations land. It's just so much First Nations stuff here. It's just an amazing area to visit. Totally recommend it. So I'm down there somewhere. Here we are, where we parked early today. As part of my run today, we're shuttling some government scientists around. They're picking up some data at various spots. So let's hop back inside and get fired up. So let's get programming our flight today. Well, this is about the third time I've had to record this. I've had microphone issues. My recording setup crashed on me, so hopefully I'll know what I'm doing this time. So I'm going to get my engines up and running. Everything's turned off. Park brake is on. Throttles mixture up, sorry. Let's get battery on. Left alternator, right alternator. Okay, avionics on. If you notice, this stays dark now. Latest update to X-Plane causes that, so you have to turn your panel on. Okay, I should have put my beacon on to let everybody know I was starting up. I've done that now. Okay, it's interesting. It's already ready for me to program a flight plan. There we are. We're all up and running, ready to go. Beautiful. Okay, so I've got my basic flight in that I assume from OMREV I'm going to be able to actually change and do an approach, an RNAV approach in, but that could all have changed with the GPS since you saw me trying to program it all at high speed, and cut that bit out of the video. You didn't really need to see that today. I'm going to get us up in the air and get us going. But I'm just going to have a quick glance at Sky Vector. My weather is 180 variable 270 15 statute miles. Okay, I'm going to cheat for a minute. Can we see the windsock anywhere? No. Should be there. Okay. Well, I think I know which runway I need to go from. I'm going to take off from there, runway 25. Okay. So I'm using head shake today. I haven't had this plugin activated for a little while. I kind of missed it. Helps with your head bobbing around a bit. You feel... Ooh. I guess that wasn't runway I was going across there. I assumed it was, but that's not, is it? It gives me... for some reason I'm stuck on the dirt or whatever that is there. So the head shake kind of adds effects. It's a free plugin. Search head shake X-Plane, Google that, you'll come up with a link to it. Drop it in your plugins folder. So it does stuff, you know, like it has G effects, so if I slam my feet on the brake like this, oh, do you see my head go forward a bit there? And it deals with other things, the shaken vibration of the plane from piston engines, from the turbines, from lots of effects that affect the way you would be if you were sat in the cockpit. So it's very cool. Now let's just hope I guessed the right runway, eh? pretty vicious. I think I might have torn the undercarriage off if I did that in real life. Hold on, I'm just trying to play around with my GPS while I fly. Never good. Okay. Let's have a check in the air. Nobody around. Okay. I'm sure the tower just gave us clearance. Looks like it's a lovely day on the west coast here. Round we come. Okay, I'm going to do a rolling start. Landing lights on. All the instrumentation looks good. Let's start cranking that throttle up. Bit off to one side here, but pull back. Oh, I can see the windsock off to the side there. I pretty much nailed the decision for my runway. And we're up. Bring the gear up now. Sneak a look out to the left so I can see the edge of Long Beach there. Now we have some serious climbing to do. Okay, let's put my prop sync on now. I've already got my yaw damper on. Now we still have to get to Campbell River and then get back home to Victoria by the end of the day before it gets dark. Will we manage it? So I'm going to be full throttle here. Tofino is down off over there somewhere. Have an outside view. Right, so we're on our way. We have some serious climbing to do. Because we have to reach about 9,000 feet before we reach the mountains. I'm actually going to use the autopilot here. I'm going to turn this up here on the top left here around to GPS. Put my nav on. It's now going to hopefully line me up. Is it going to do that? Or are we going to do one of those where it flies around in circles? That looks like we're going to do one of those where it flies around in circles. Let's get our flight plane up. Let's go to the next one in the flight plan. Hold on. There we go. It was trying to get me back to the airport. Now look at that, we've got a purple line. It wasn't purple before. We've actually got an active leg on our flight plan now. Something I've learnt from before now playing around with the GPS is that you have to make sure that your leg is active. I've had this before in my plane just flying round and round and round in circles. Okay, on our way. Snow-capped mountains coming up. So we're just passing 8,000. I'm planning to, I think I'm going to level off at 9.5 on this flight. We'll just be kissing, well, the mountain should be probably 1,000 feet below us then, at about that height. So we're on target. We're currently 17 minutes away from our 3550. So there we go, we can see the plan. We're kind of coming somewhere between, this is Comox there to the right, you can see on the GPS, and Campbell River to the left there. So we're kind of coming down the middle between the two. So hopefully that will get us on target for what we need to do for our to program an approach. And I'll look at that more in a minute. So we're nearly at 9,000 feet. A bit bumpy. We have a bit of turbulence here, you can see. Scenery's looking pretty good out there. Some good ortho scenery. I think Bing must have updated with better scenery over the last few months, because the last time I generated it, it was missing and it was pretty sucky for the whole of the island. So we'll see if it's good all the way across for our flight today. I wouldn't be surprised if there are a couple of bits that are less than quality, and I can turn my taxi lights on. I'm going to leave my landing lights on because we are just under 10,000 feet. Okay, hit the altitude button there, down there now on the autopilot, and we're leveling off. It looks like it's going to be close. Don't feel like we've got an awful lot of height above those mountains. We're just below this layer of cloud here. I hope my passengers aren't getting too airsick because it is pretty bumpy. A bit of mist coming through here. Look at this. I love that effect, look at that. Drifting by. It feels very realistic. Just below the cloud base there. Okay, and we have a few minutes here to look at the GPS. I hope not to bore you too much with this, but let's go down. No, it's exactly not what I want to do. Proc. I want to do select approach, so I hit the proc button and go select approach. Enter RNAV 30. Enter. Let's say QQ. I just want to load it at this stage. Let's look at my flight plan. Oh, there you go, OMREV. So I wonder if I go down. Clear. I wonder if I come down here. And then I'm really cheeky and I say delete QQ. Can I delete that? I didn't do quite what I planned. Well, we'll see how we get on. You're not supposed to, I don't think. I wonder if I could just delete my approach again. Or maybe leave it in. Okay, let's try this again. Actually, just select approach. It's taken me a lot of messing around to start to have the confidence to mess around with the GPS. It seemed like a black art to me for the longest time, but you just have to keep playing till you get confidence. There, we're programmed in. Look at that valley down through there. That's just stunning. I love driving through the mountains to get to Tofino. And Ucluelet. I love Ucluelet as well. The whole of the west coast there, it's just a lovely little bit. Oh yeah, I said we might have some crap textures to come, and we do. We've ortho was obviously pulled down on some poor quality imagery from Bing. Oop, I don't want that one. Let's try that one. Sorry about that. That was the view from Tofino Airport, me flying. Yeah, you can see a line across here. Yep. There's some bad imagery there. right in the middle of the island. Looks like it's only one tile, one section of one tile that's bad. We'll be alright. So, let's get back inside. I'm letting the autopilot fly. You don't have to do all this. Keeping an eye out in the sky, making sure there's no other aircraft around. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate there. That looks like Buttle Lake in the distance. There's a big long lake on the island. Don't think it's the biggest, but it's big. And we're 8 minutes away. We certainly can't lose height yet, because if I look outside, we're above, but only by about 1,000 feet probably. Oh, the weather's changing as we reach over the island. Okay, and we're definitely coming south of Campbell River here. A little less of the big peaks. If we'd been going straight there, we'd have had to worry about that. I can probably actually start dropping my altitude a bit soon, so we're more in line for our approach. Okay, I think I've just been adjusting the props down a bit for now. We're kind of at cruise. I'd forgotten to do that, to try and figure out how to do that. I've got to learn how to work with fixed speed propellers correctly. They're a black art to me right now, so I'm going to start dropping our height now. I'm staying on the autopilot for now. Actually, I'm not doing anything because my PC has frozen. There we go. It's woken up again now. Okay, down, 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 down. Here we go. Starting our descent. Okay, I'm going to close my cowl flaps. It's colder out there and we are... Oh, I have a scenery problem with another airport. That'll be right. Okay, so I've started our descent. You can see the edge of a bad scenery tile and a good scenery tile. I've started the descent. I've set myself heading downwards. I'm still on the autopilot. So help me stay ahead of the aircraft. I already have my landing lights still on. Everything's looking good. I do have quite a bit of height to lose. Jeez, what's my details for there? Altimeter 29902. How about that? Standard pressure. So 29902. Let's bring this up. I'm going to zoom in a bit here to try and work out what's going on. Still heading towards OMREV. You can see QQ is way out here to the right. So I'm hoping that when I switch to the approach I can just jump ahead a leg and join it at OMREV. I think that should be fair enough. I just have 5 minutes to lose some height. 15 nautical miles coming in. Okay. 8,700. We're over the worst of the mountains now. They're just behind us. Yeah, we can see they're kind of coming into the flat area now. Okay, we're not losing height very fast here. Go for a bit more of an aggressive angle. Keeping an eye on my speed there. Let's put my props full forward. dropping fairly fast here. 12 miles. Everything looks good. What's my ATIS for 128.55? We could put that on the radio and have a listen, couldn't we? 128.55.
Campbell River information album. 2100 Zulu weather. Wind 220 at 7. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 10,500 scattered. 14,500 broken. Temperature 4. Dew point -19. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runway 12. Departing runway 12. Advise on initial contact you have Alpha.
Okay, using runway 12. Okay, change. Okay, so this would be a bit of a change. Oh, angular. So let's change to go into Dexa. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Ah. What was it to go to? Dexa. DEKSO. Let's try that again. D E. Getting a bit of pressure now that I've got to get this sorted. Okay. Oh, the weather's just turned to rain and misery. S. O. Enter. Okay, and I'm going to okay. I'm actually going to hold my altitude, I think, for now. So now, if we look at my flight plan, I've just suddenly changed. I had assumed I was going in the other direction, so I am heading up to Dexa, and I'm hoping. Now, I'm quite a way off course, as it were, right now. But I don't have any visual obstructions to deal with. The clouds are kind of closing around me, so I'm going to go up there, Dexa, and then fly back in this direction. There's definitely a bit of coming back on myself. Okay, bring up my other chart. So I'm still just flying here out to start my approach. I'm going to try and activate my approach now. I'm actually doing the whole thing to Aglat, Dexo, and in. So this is interesting for me. I haven't done this before. Doing a GPS approach. I don't have the full charts, unfortunately. So we're flying blind a bit for altitude and so on, but if I bring this up and look at the flight plan, we're going to be doing this. So there's runway 12. So by leave on, I want to be at, say, 1100 feet, assuming it's similar to the other chart we looked at. The weather's not great. guess in theory I could use an ILS approach if I have poor visibility. I might even tune the ILS onto the nav 1 and nav 2 so that I can use that to help me land at the last minute. Pretty wacky weather. Raining, must be raining out of that cloud there that we're about to go into. So we really are about to enter IMC, Instrument Meteorological Conditions. I am going to lose my visual references. Goodbye visual references, but I'm trusting the autopilot right now, where we have 5,500 feet roughly. We are, zoom this in a bit, we're about to do this lovely loop here. You can just see around there, like, we get this up big, round and then back. They said that's one of the things in GPS approaches, that they actually can take you out of your way if you're doing this without any air traffic control guiding you in with vectors and allowing you to cut it short. So we're actually flying further away. So you join me just as we've started our turn. Still some pretty funky weather. We're drifting in and out of the clouds here. I can keep an eye on the ground from here, but it's not brilliant. We're following this curve round right now. Or rather we were. Here we go. It's coming up. We have another 4 minutes to the next turn. We'll see you then. So we're just approaching deck zone now, so we should be doing our next turn. And as I speak like that, we just start. I'm going to start descending now. If we bring up my so we're on to the next one. We're still 11 miles out. I'm going to bring us down to about 3,000 feet now, I think. Okay, again, still using the autopilot, because this way I might succeed with this. I've put the pitot heat on because we have moisture, and according to my air temperature there, I'm below zero. Don't want anything freezing up. On we go. 4 minutes. Because I want to be, leave on there, I want to be at about 1,100 feet, I think. So let's get down there. It's only 9.5 miles till the runway. In fact, I can see it ahead already. We are not going to make it down. Let's be a bit more aggressive with my descent. Probably fly a visual approach for this, but let's just keep the autopilot working, shall we? Just going to look at, because we have some variable conditions. But I do have a visual on the runway, and it is straight ahead of me. We have a bit of turbulence, but it's pretty good. Temperatures are good, pressures are good, manifold pressure seems fine. My lights are set fine. We're still not descending fast enough, I don't think. We'll see. about 3,000 feet higher than I want to be at this stage. So I'm basically abusing the engines right now. I've cut the manifold pressure right down. Okay. Let's use a little bit of flap to actually slow us down. I know it's going to balloon us a bit. Just create drag. And gear can come down. Yeah, look at that. Actually, the ILS is actually tuned and we're way above the glide slope. You know what I'm going to do? Turn autopilot off. See what we can do. So we're descending about 2,000 feet a minute right now, dropping out of the heavens. Clear around. I'm happy with that. Let's just focus on our landing, shall we? Right, 120 speed. Don't seem to have much crosswind really. Okay, we've done a bit of plummeting there. We're going to cross Levon here by the look of it at about 2,000, so we're not that much higher than I expected. I wouldn't want to be a passenger in this plane, to be honest. Scary. Interesting there, you can see the clear cutting that they do where the power lines go through the forest up and down the island. The bears like to use that as a shortcut. It's a great shortcut for wildlife, you see. Easier than walking through the forest. Okay, I'm going full flaps. We should really start to slow down now. Still above the glide slope. 1.7 nautical miles away. 1.6. Okay, everybody's ears have stopped popping now in the plane from that pretty heavy descent. It stopped raining. It's all right. Just trying to keep it on the center line here. Trim the plane a little better. I'm having to put a bit of pressure on the stick. It's very tiring. There's absolutely no scenery at this airport. It really is just a runway, unfortunately. So I imagine there's buildings. Okay, and a terminal and things like that. Okay, done pretty well on this flight. I just got to not screw up my landing right now. Coming in. Nice and straight. Oh, that was almost like a bit of wind shear or something. Right. Okay, can I get the flare right? Can I get the flare right? I'm almost down, almost down. Oh, not too bad, not too bad. Okay. There we are. We're down. Welcome to Campbell River. Where's the turn off? Oh heck, there's one coming up. Okay. It's a bit difficult trying to figure out what you're supposed to do on an airport with no buildings. But we're down. We survived. Okay, so I'm just trying to find somewhere to park. Thank you for flying with me today. I'm going to carry on later and fly. There's a jumbo jet here. That's just terribly unrealistic. And it's going to try and take off as well. I'm going to try and fly part 4 of this, the final leg, Campbell River, back to Victoria later. Oh heck, look at all those birds. It's quite scary. I want to strike them on takeoff. Right, I'm going to go and park this somewhere else, out of the way of this massive jumbo jet. Who brings a 747 to Campbell River? Blimey, he looks like he's on fire as well. They really do have to work on the smoke effects, I think, in this game. It's highly unrealistic. So anyway, I'm going to park up and watch this idiot try and take off on that tiny little runway. Thanks for flying. If you like my channel, subscribe, send me comments. Also, go back and watch the other parts of this video, or watch one of the other 50 or 60 videos I've made as well. Maybe there's something to interest you. Thanks for coming along for the trip, and I'll see you again soon.